Hi everyone, I hope we are all keeping well. Today I thought I would do a bit of a video on an app that myself and my partner swear by. It's an app that we've used since day 2 of our beautiful daughter Isla being born. She's now 3 months old today and it's an app that we are still using. So I think it is an app that obviously is working for us, and hopefully me sharing the knowledge on this app will be able to help you and your partner as well. So I've got my trusty notes here, so if I look down you'll know why. So let's begin. So this app is called the Huckleberry app. Now you can download the free version, but there are also 2 other versions that you can purchase as well, which help with elements or kind of dives a little bit deeper in assisting you with sleep. This may be something that myself and my partner look into further down the track, but at the moment we're happy using the free version. So basically what the Huckleberry app allows you to do is it allows you to track all different elements of your daily activities with your child. So there's elements like sleep, feeding, diaper, medicine, growth, temperature, activities, so that can range from story time, indoor play, screen time, things like that, pumping, potty training, and as well as solids, so once you start giving them food. So at the moment myself and my partner use the sleep, feeding, diaper, medicine, growth, temperature and activity elements. I have used the pumping before when I was pumping quite regularly, but I haven't used the pumping selection in a while, but it's there. So basically what you can do is you can modify the main screen to suit your needs, so to ensure that those buttons like the sleep, the feeding, the diaper, they all appear on the main screen for you, so whenever you're doing a nappy change or you're doing a feed you can log those really easily. So what I really love about this app is that with it's the feeding element. So I'm currently breastfeeding. I know I should be able to tell which boob I've just used to feed my daughter, but by the time the next feed comes around I'm like, which one was it? And it just kind of cancels out that, having to remember which side you just did, as it lets you know which breast you logged your last feed on, so you can easily tell which feed or which boob you last used. So basically what you can do is you can do a manual entry, which is where you plug in the amount of time that you believe you fed for, or you can actually press a button and it logs from the time that your baby latches on. You can press that button and that's when the timer starts. There's an actual timer element to it as well, which is fantastic. So when it comes to the sleeping element of the app, you can log the day naps and what they deem as nighttime naps. So for us, a nighttime is any time from 6 p.m. So if she sleeps from 6 p.m, that's what we deem as the nighttime sleeping pattern, and then anything from 6 a.m. is the day nap. So for instance, she sleeps usually around 9 hours at night, obviously on and off, waking up for feeds or nappy changes, but usually around 9 hours-ish. And then in the day it can really range. So our little girl doesn't really at the moment stay asleep if she's not in your arms, unless you go for a walk and she falls asleep in a carrier or she's in the car seat and stays asleep for that duration of time. But when she's at home and not in a carrier, she does not like to sleep off you. So usually I'm kind of just sat there for 50 minutes. But generally speaking, you can obviously log the activity, so you can either manually put it in like you could with the feeds, or once your baby is asleep you can go on that timer and select start and then just stop it once your baby wakes up. Now the medicine section of the app has been really useful for myself and my partner, and that is because our little girl has a kidney, her left kidney isn't functioning as well as the right one, so she's currently on antibiotics and has been since the first day she was born, to make sure, to minimise the risk of infections. So the medicine element of the app just ensures that we are obviously giving her medicine every single day, so it lets me know how long it's been since she last took it. So if I see that it's been 24 hours, I know, oh, something's not right there, I haven't given her medicine for that day. So yeah, it's just an easy way to kind of be left accountable and know when you last gave the medicine, as well as in parenthood and motherhood, it is just so difficult to remember all those little details. The growth and the temperature side of the app, the growth is useful obviously when you're having your midwife appointments and your health visitor appointments. They obviously weigh your baby, which is great. So whenever that's done, I then put it in the app just for reference so that we have that there. And the temperature element of the app as well. When Isla was first born, I think for the first month we would do her temperature like multiple times a day, and it was just something that I was so fixated on because obviously I didn't want her to be overheating in the clothes that I was putting her in, or feeling really cold, or I was just worried that, you know, the first sign of a baby maybe being ill is the temperature. So I would honestly, I took her temperature probably 5 times a day. Obviously that's what made me feel better and made me feel like I could function and not worry about something. Obviously it's great to have that, but then we slowly just started dropping it off, and I couldn't tell you when the last time was that I did her temperature. It was probably actually when she had her 8-week jabs, just to make sure that obviously they can get a bit of a temperature after the 8-week jabs. So yeah, I think that would have been the last time I probably did her temperature. So obviously I'm feeling a little bit more confident in terms of what she's wearing, as well as feeling like she's fit as a fiddle, which is a good thing. Now, I love the activity sides of the app. Admittedly, I don't do it as often as I should, but it is nice to be able to log, you know, story time. Isla loves books. I mean, she's 3 months today, and she's been loving books probably for the last 2 weeks, really fixating on the pictures and really looking at me when I'm reading to her, which is lovely. So I do like to log that, as well as screen time. So a bit of guilt to this, but I think every mum secretly and every parent needs a bit of downtime, especially in the morning, just to have your morning coffee and have your breakfast. What I do is I put the dancing fruits on, and Isla loves that. So for 15 minutes roughly, she is kicking her legs and absolutely loving screen time. So I tend to log that as well. And then there's indoor play. So, I mean, right, I'm basically sitting on like a little play mat now, and I've got all her little toys that I mean, these are new ones that she's started to look at. And I've even got things like wrapping paper. She absolutely loves how bright the stars are. I kind of just move them around. So yeah, very cheap sensory toy. But yeah, so I do log that as well. And another incredible thing about this app is that, say your partner is in the office and not at home, he or she, they can basically be kept in the loop with how your day is going. So if they're seeing that baby hasn't slept for 3 hours, or baby is latching onto you for a really, really long feed, they can log onto the app and see and know what kind of day that you've had. At the start of Isla being here, so the first few weeks, my partner was in the other room sometimes, so we just slept in separate rooms because she was really fidgety, and he's a really light sleeper. And obviously there's a limited amount of what he could do as I'm breastfeeding, so he could, of a morning or during the night, he could log on and see what kind of day or night I was having, and obviously he would come into the room when he saw that I was awake, if he was awake as well. Yeah, I think it's just nice for them to be able to see what you've been up to in the nighttime / morning, and if they're at work they can log on to see how things are going as well, which is fantastic. So when looking at my notes, the 3 top tips or reasons I believe that this app is helpful at the start is that I think it's great that you can tell your doctor about the toileting. So when you're talking to your midwives or any of the healthcare like visitors, they will always ask you about the toileting scenario. If I did not have this app, there is no way I would have remembered how often she pooed or how often she weed. So the app was great for me to be able to see that and to be able to tell them. The app also, the more often you use it and the more regularly you use it, if you're really consistent, it can show you patterns on things. So it can tell you the average amount of times your baby wees every day or poos every day or has a mixed poo and wee nappy. So yeah, the doctors, midwives, healthcare visitors, they all like to know about your baby's toilet situation. Also the feeding activity, so you will often get asked the quantity of times, the amount of times you're feeding. So for us it was like 10 to 12 times a day. It's pretty much the same now. And the length of the duration. So usually they say, you know, from 5 minutes to whatever. Isla's length has changed dramatically from, you know, when she was first born to now. At the moment, she usually has a feed between 5 to 10 minutes in length, and then we usually hope, the last 2 nights she was having a really long feed in the evening. It's like she knew that she needed a long feed to have a long sleep at night, and that was fantastic, but she didn't do it last night, so she woke up a bit earlier than what she would have for the first wake up during the night. So I'm hoping she learns that, yeah, having a big 20-minute, half an hour feed before bed is the way to go to ensure she has a lovely long first chunk of sleep. And then the third is the sleep amount, obviously. So being able to track how long your baby sleeps at night and how long they're napping for in the day as well. Is that something that's good for you to know, and for any kind of healthcare service to know as well? And just kind of know, you know, what's average or normal for your baby is just helpful. And then hopefully when my partner and I want to get into a bit of more of a routine with her sleeping, we'll be able to do that and to use this app as a guidance on how to implement certain strategies and get her down at certain times. The good thing about the feeding button as well, when you're doing it, either when you're doing the timer or the manual, you can select left or right. I think I mentioned that before though. So if you forget what boob or breast you've used the previous feed, your app will tell you. And I think that is all. So I obviously said that the more often you use it and the more frequently you use it, if you kind of, I'm just like, it's in my brain now, it's just routine and a pattern just to always log everything, so it's second nature now. But you can obviously, yeah, see certain patterns. So at the moment, Isla basically is sleeping from 8 p.m. So now we've kind of learnt since this app, okay, she usually goes down at 8. So what am I going to do? So at 7 to 7:30, she's usually in a bouncer, watching me have my shower, and then she has her bath. And then that just puts her in the right mood and relaxed, ready to fall asleep at 8. So usually she's staring at me for 15 minutes and cooing, and then she usually goes to sleep at 8. Average amount of nappies at the moment are 8 to 10, and then the average time between feeds, which is handy for me to see here, is 2 hours and 11 minutes. But yeah, hopefully throughout these clips I can insert some images of the app and what it looks like. But yeah, I would highly recommend the Huckleberry app, as you know, any help or assistance you can get, why the heck not? If you have any questions about the Huckleberry app, this isn't obviously sponsored, this is just an app that I've used and found incredibly beneficial, and I've also obviously let my friends that have babies as well know about it. But yeah, I think it's just a sense of like security as well, knowing that I have the app. Hopefully, like one day obviously I won't need to use it, but at the moment obviously she's just 3 months old today, and it just makes me feel like if I'm not too sure why she's crying, or if I'm thinking, oh, she's a bit grizzly now, oh, that's right, it's probably because she needs a feed, or oh, she's actually not had a nappy change for X amount of time, I'm going to do that now. But it's all kind of coming naturally to me now, but I think I just look at the app at the moment just for reassurance. I'm thinking I want to do a day where I don't use the app, but then obviously is that going to affect all the stats and everything that I've accumulated so far? Hello Barney, are you going to come say hello? Come here. Come here. Hello. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any other questions, or any questions, you just shook, any questions, please feel free to write in the comments or contact me on Instagram in Messenger, and I'll be more than happy to help. All right, bye.